Why do most people struggle to lead effectively? Why do teams collapse under pressure, goals fall apart, and things never seem to improve? The answer might not be out there. It might be within you. Jocko Willink and Leif Babin's extreme ownership delivers one of the toughest truths in leadership. If there's a problem, it's your responsibility. No more blaming, no more excuses. You take ownership, fully, without hesitation, and you lead. This isn't just another leadership book filled with fluff. It's a raw, battle-tested philosophy. Willink and Babin are decorated Navy SEALs who led combat missions in the most hostile conditions imaginable. Ramadi, Iraq. They didn't just learn leadership from textbooks. They learned it while under fire, with lives on the line. And when they returned home, they took those same lessons and trained leaders in the corporate world. What they found: these principles don't just work in combat. They work anywhere. They work in boardrooms. They work in classrooms. They work at the dinner table. The book opens with a brutal, real-world scenario: a friendly fire incident, chaos, miscommunication, near disaster. And when the investigation began, all eyes turned to Jocko. But instead of deflecting blame, he stood up and said, "This was my fault." That moment redefined leadership for him. He saw that trust and performance aren't built on perfection. They're built on accountability. The moment you stop blaming others and start owning the mission, everything changes. That level of accountability sets a new tone. It becomes contagious. Teams thrive when they know their leader is the first to take the hit. Extreme ownership means taking full responsibility for everything in your world. Whether it's your team's performance, your company's failure, or your own personal struggles, you own it. Even if something wasn't directly your fault, you still own the outcome. Why? Because leaders don't get to pass the buck. Leaders fix things. Leaders lead. That's the whole idea. Own the outcome, even when circumstances feel out of your control, especially then. One powerful example from SEAL training proves this point. During a boat race challenge, one team kept finishing dead last. The instructors swapped the team leader with someone from a top-performing team. Almost instantly, the struggling team began winning. Same people, different leader. What changed? The standard, the tone, the expectations. Good leadership lifts people up. Poor leadership pulls people down. Leadership is everything. You are responsible for the culture you set. People rise or fall to the tone their leader sets. But leadership isn't just about issuing commands. It starts with belief. If you don't truly believe in the mission, your team never will. You can't fake conviction. Whether it's a business project, a family goal, or a personal transformation, people can sense hesitation. If you're half-hearted, you lose your team's trust. The solution? Learn to ask the hard questions. Clarify the mission. Understand the why. Once you believe, then you can lead others. Belief fuels clarity, and clarity fuels confidence. And to lead well, you must manage your greatest internal enemy, ego. Ego blinds leaders. It makes them defensive, close-minded, and unteachable. In combat, ego gets people killed. In life, it leads to toxic workplaces, fractured families, and wasted potential. Jocko and Leif are clear. Leaders must be confident, but never arrogant. You have to be willing to admit when you're wrong. You have to listen, learn, adapt, stay humble, or you'll lose the trust of your team. Ego is the enemy of growth, of feedback, and of leadership itself. The authors introduce the 4 laws of combat, timeless principles every leader should know. Let's start with cover and move. In SEAL missions, it means one unit provides covering fire while another advances. In everyday life, it means teams work together, not against each other. Departments in a company or people in a family must stop saying, "That's not my job." Instead, they cover each other. They move together. Because a team that doesn't support itself fails. No one operates in isolation. You need each other. The second law, keep it simple. Under stress, complexity kills. Complicated plans fall apart fast. In business or life, if your communication isn't crystal clear, people will get confused. Clarity leads to action. Simplicity creates strength. Whether you're delegating tasks, outlining goals, or building habits, simplify. A simple message cuts through the noise. A simple system gets followed. The third law, prioritize and execute. When everything hits at once, what do? You don't panic. You breathe. You assess. You prioritize. You solve the biggest problem first. Then you move to the next. This isn't just a battlefield skill. It's a survival tactic for any high-pressure situation. Deadlines, emergencies, parenting, business crises. One step at a time. That's how you win. Don't drown in chaos. Control it by narrowing your focus. The fourth law, decentralized command. A leader can't do everything. That's not leadership. That's micromanagement. To build a successful team, you must empower others to lead. Your people need to understand the mission and be able to act on their own. You must trust them, teach them, give them autonomy. Micromanagement kills speed. Empowerment creates momentum. Great leaders multiply themselves by building leaders around them. And then comes planning. Good leaders don't wait for chaos. They plan for it. The battlefield is unpredictable. So is life. You make a plan. You assign roles. You ask the tough what-if questions. And most importantly, you communicate that plan to your team. Everyone needs to know what to do, especially when things go sideways. Rehearse, review, readjust. Planning isn't about rigid control. It's about readiness. But leadership doesn't stop at your direct reports. You also need to lead your leaders. That's right, leading up the chain of command. If your boss doesn't understand your needs, don't blame them. Own it. Speak clearly. Provide solutions, not problems. Take responsibility for how you communicate with those above you. Stop waiting. Start leading. Help them lead better by giving them clarity. And of course, the same principle applies to those you lead. If your team is confused or underperforming, that's on you. People need context. They need purpose. They need freedom within a framework. Your job is to guide, not control. To give them the why, not just the what, and to help them grow until they can lead themselves. The best leaders eventually make themselves unnecessary. So what happens when you're stuck? When the pressure mounts and you don't know what to do? Simple. You make a decision, then you adjust. Leaders don't freeze, they move. In uncertainty, you act. Because waiting for the perfect plan is a guarantee for failure. Bold, calculated action wins. Motion breaks inertia. Progress builds momentum. Threaded through every lesson is a powerful idea. Discipline equals freedom. You may have heard it before, but what does it really mean? It means the more disciplined you are, the more control you have. When you create structure, routines, systems, standards, you earn freedom. A disciplined schedule gives you time. A disciplined budget gives you options. A disciplined mind gives you peace. Discipline isn't restriction. It's power. It's control. It's strength applied consistently over time. And finally, extreme ownership reminds us that leadership is a balance. It's not rigid. It's dynamic. You must be strong but gentle, decisive but thoughtful, confident but humble. Leaders walk a tightrope every day. And great leaders learn to adjust in real time. They read the situation, they remain flexible, and they never stop learning. Growth is constant. Leadership is earned daily. What makes this book so powerful is its practicality. These lessons aren't just theories, they're tools. You can use them whether you're managing a company, raising a family, or trying to get your life back on track. They help you think clearly, act decisively, communicate powerfully. If your house is messy, own it. If your career is stuck, own it. If your relationships are suffering, own it. The moment you stop blaming and start owning, you start winning. Ownership puts you in the driver's seat. It builds momentum. It builds respect. Because once you take ownership of your life, everything changes. You stop waiting for someone to fix it. You fix it. You stop reacting. You start leading. You start building a life with intention. Extreme ownership isn't a slogan. It's a way of life, a mindset, a path to becoming the kind of leader and person you were meant to be. You create trust, you build resilience, and you elevate others around you. So if you're ready to lead, to rise, and to take control, then don't wait for permission. Just start. Take ownership. Lead your mission. Thanks for listening to this audiobook summary of Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin. If you found value in this, like, comment, and subscribe to Audiobook Focus.